And welcome back to halftime. Let's get to our calls of the day. We're going to start off with Robinhood. You can see shares are up over 5.5% right now, named a top pick at Morgan Stanley. And Kevin, you bought more of this stock, so good on you today.
Listen, we bought this stock last Friday at $40, and it's almost $49 today. So nothing to sneeze at right there, but we think there's a lot more potential for this stock. There's a maturation that's going on within this company. This isn't kids running around trading NFTs on their phone, although that's the infrastructure that's there. They made an acquisition for Trade PMR, which is a custodial platform that a lot of RIAs are using. They're building out education within their site, retirement plans. This is a company that's amazingly growth-oriented, and when there's a transfer of generational wealth, it's the folks on Robinhood that are going to be the beneficiaries of that transfer. We really like the stock in our growth.
But Kevin,
portfolio.
in all fairness, you've all known this great wealth transfer is going to happen for quite some time. Is this a deregulation play in your mind? The idea with less regulation that this company has more room to grow, more room to expand into new markets and new businesses, like one you just mentioned?
Well, I think that they're going into the right businesses, not sports betting. So deregulation is going to help lots of companies within this space. But you want companies that are growing, and it's a huge, huge market share, and they only need a small portion of it.
All right, Brent, you also own Robinhood. I want to get your take on what Kevin has to say. The idea is that they're growing into the right businesses. And also want to get your take. Do you believe that deregulation, is that a tailwind for this business long term? Of course, again, it seems like the elephant in the room, the inauguration's on Monday.
I mean, I really think the crypto market, specifically around the regulatory framework within crypto. So maybe it's not a deregulation, it's a regulatory framework, which we didn't have before. And so I think that will benefit both Coinbase and Robinhood. But because I think Robinhood has so many more public assets that are like stocks, and they are doing so much, they're giving like money back for IRAs, giving you a bump. I think it actually is going to infringe on Coinbase, and they can both be winners. And so I think the regulatory framework around crypto will be incredibly positive for Robinhood longer term.
Weiss, coming over to you while we're talking about crypto. You made some moves on crypto recently. You actually trimmed some of your crypto position. Just curious why, as we go into the inauguration, the administration of Donald Trump expected to be a very good one for crypto, expected to have an executive order on crypto potentially on day one as well.
Yeah, so that was just over 10%, and that was just triggered by a stop. It's actually still my largest position at this point, but it's still speculative. So I keep tight stops on it, on the market. But those stops, unlike on stocks, have to have a wide berth because of the volatility in it. But look, you got a president who's got interest in crypto, and we've seen that he will work in his self-interest. So on that alone, now when he says day one, he's going to announce a federal stockpile in crypto. Doesn't make any sense. I don't think it's a store of value. I don't even know what that means in relation to crypto. But the animal spirits here are alive and well. The momentum will continue. You still have halving where you cut the capacity that's available to buy. So everything is working right for momentum trade. I can't tell you what my target is, as I've been asked in the past, but I'm going to be there. And Robinhood, frankly, is where I first started trading crypto because they weren't charging versus Coinbase charging 5% per trade. So to me, it made infinite sense. And as far as Robinhood goes and generational wealth, if Kevin keeps putting lids on my stocks like United Healthcare, I hope that generational change in the wealth ownership will happen sooner than later.
Well, we switch gears a bit, going from crypto to CRM. Upgrade of Salesforce today from buy to a buy from a hold at TD Cowen. Britt, I'm going to come over to you. You own Salesforce. Just your thoughts on this, the whole agentic AI. Oh, excuse me, Brenda. I'm sorry about that. Brenda, you own Salesforce. Just the whole shift to agentic AI and this upgrade from TD Cowen. Also, price target raised from 380 over to 400.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Salesforce continues to be really well positioned, and with their agent force, which I think we'll see more and more adoption as companies really look to leverage their existing salespeople and their ability to service customers and bring in new business. So I do think that Salesforce is well positioned, and there were some questions about that not too long ago, but I do think that they've really taken great measures to be competitive and offer really interesting tools for their customers to use.
We heard Mark Benioff. He actually spoke to our Sarah Eisen about the difference between agentic AI and AI co-pilots. So he seems to be maintaining there's a big difference, but when it comes to adoption, do you see a different story? Because AI co-pilots, they just never quite took off.
No, and I think if you have a co-pilot that's actually adding value and it's very apparent in how it's doing it, or even taking the place of a person along the process of the sales process, that is much more valuable and tangible for companies to be able to see and use.
All right, Salesforce shares up just about 2.5% right now.